Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, get ready to get wavy. I remember the day when I used to try to get my waves right. I have the creator of Wave Glyder, Petit Beau, all
Yes,
the way from Florida with those Haitian roots. You can hear it in the name.
yes.
Perry, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Doing great, Kellen, man. Thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, I saw this, email. Then I saw your creation, and I said, "Wow, is this Shark Tank? Did I get it before Shark Tank?" And I said I had to talk to you. So tell us, how did you create the Wave Glider, and let us know what it helps us men who used to have waves and want to have waves. What does it do?
All right. Back in 2014, man, going through a very dark season in my life, man. Inspired by my brother-in-law, today, he had invented a product to help barbers with the clipper guards, and so that got me hype. I was just like, man, I'm at rock bottom now. There's nothing else, to lose, and no other direction to go but up. So, I was just brushing my hair one day at my parents' house, and like guys usually brush with one hand and then come behind the other hand with the palm of their hand, and just a light bulb turned on, like, what can I develop that can mimic the texture of the palm of my hand? And guys in the wave community, one method that was kind of derived from the jailhouse, they would use plastic bags to smooth their hair down, knock the stubborn frizzy hairs that are standing up after a brushing session. So I was thinking, it's not really the bag, it's really the palm of your hand. So I just started, messing around with like, one of those home ec type of materials. And then I went to Michael's. I'm trying to figure out how to make a mold. I created a mold. So I took, a regular hairbrush, shaved down the bristles, and I tried foam at first. And I was like, the material is soaking up, the oils or whatever. So that's not going to work. And then I went to styrofoam. That didn't work because it didn't give me the same, texture of the palm. And then finally I was like, man, let me try silicone. So I got one of those chalk guns with the silicones from Home Depot, and then I maneuvered that, and that was the birthing of the first wave glider. And of course, I had to just, test the market out with my friends and family. Sawdust everywhere. I was working at a barber shop. Everybody was clowning me like, dude, why don't you try to get manufactured or something? At that time, I didn't really have the money for it, but I was making them. But that was the moment. That's where all the momentum started, and from there, that's when Wave Glider was birthed.
Okay, and getting the mold done, I think that's like the first step, for creation. How did you go about doing that? Did you were basically making it yourself, and
Yeah.
you couldn't afford to, have somebody professionally make it. How did you go from making it yourself to having someone else make it?
Well, again, man, I just want to give a shout out to my brother-in-law, man. He was driving one day, and he saw this prototype company, and down here in Fort Lauderdale, downtown actually, and he gave them a buzz. He initially was working with them, and then he kind of passed them on to me. And so I went in and I just showed them my prototype, what I had, and they was like, man, we could definitely bring this to reality. And so this was, I want to say this was 2015, 2016. And so they drafted up some concept drawings, and man, to see my idea, what I thought it could look like, exceed my expectations, man, this thing had my heart, like sink to my belly. Like, I can't believe like this actually came to reality. And of course I had to just, because when I saw them initially show me the first concept drawing, and it was just like, yeah. And I was like, wow. So you mean whatever it is on my mind, however I envision this thing, you guys could bring it to reality. And they said, yeah. So I was just like, man, I thought of a boogie board. You got your surfboard. The surfboard got the pointy ends on both ends, right? So the boogie board is a little shorter and it has that bevel on the front, and then on the back, it's like more of a fin type. So I was like, man, I want the Wave Glider to look like this. And they was able to replicate it. I picked the colors, I gave them my logo, and then, just like two brains work better than one, they was able to, piggyback off of my vision, and I was able to piggyback off of their ability to bring it to reality. And that's how it kicked off, man.
I love to hear that. Can you educate the audience on, bringing that concept and getting that mold? How expensive was that? Because a lot of folks would talk themselves out of it before they even go to that step, saying, I don't have the money because I figure it's going to be thousands, if not tens of thousands, just to, get that mold. So is it a lot of money, or do they take a percentage? How does that work?
So the first step is you definitely have to connect with an engineering, company that can do your technical drawings. The company that I referenced earlier is Prototype House, and they draft up the concept drawings, and you select what concept you like, and then they also do the sourcing. Now that step, you do have to pay them. At the time, it was a few $1,000s, and that was some years ago. Of course, the price change and it varies from each person. So I don't know what it would cost somebody today, but it does, like it, anything big, anything that you believe in, you're gonna have to pay some type of price. Now, the mold is a separate, pricing, and you're dealing with a different individual, which would be your manufacturer. Our manufacturer is in China, so from the sourcing with the Prototype House company, I was able to connect with manufacturers and get quotes. Now, I'm not trying to scare, anybody, but the mold, because if you look at the Wave Glider, it has different pieces to it, and you have to open up a mold for each piece. So my molds, which was probably like 7 different molds, it generated not generated, but it cost me over $12K just to open the mold for those 7 molds. And then that's not including your first order. So it can be pricey, but to be honest, I didn't have the money. I didn't have all the money. But because my desire was so strong to see my dream come to pass and be fulfilled, when I started walking, God provided the money. He connect me with people. Me and my wife were business partners. We don't have no investors. We had to do all this from the hip, man, just walking by faith, man. And just to see when we took that initial first step, and then the provision started to come. But if you're waiting for the provision to come, and no step, no action, is not going to come. But don't allow the cost of it to paralyze you, from making a move forward.
And if you have faith like a mustard seed, then man, the things that can happen. What were some of those steps? Because some folks say 12,000, but in my mind, as an entrepreneur, I'm thinking about the 12 million you're gonna make, not have to pay somebody a royalty or this and that, because you got it straight out of the mud, out of your pocket. Friends, family probably helped you. Yes.
Actually, yeah, it was. We were able to get a card, and then I think maybe 8 or 7K on the card, from a family member, and we had to muscle the rest. I think some of it came from a tax return. Me and my wife, man, we went tunnel vision, man. Bro, we was just we're not stopping until we get this thing going, man. And that was like the toughest part, man. And so, like we launched in 2017. Um, you know, we're still here now, and we were just able to just replenish our orders. We went like man, maybe like 8 or 9 months not being able to fulfill another order. And it kind of had us missing in action, but we're back now, man. And we went through the trials and errors, man. And like I'm sitting here with you today, man. I'm just like I'm keeping myself together, but I'm just like, yo, I'm on Kellen, show, man. The, Diversified Game. I was listening to your podcast and everything, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm so happy for you, because that type of push is what real entrepreneurs have to do. I mean, no matter what is to happen, you have to birth this baby out, push it out. I don't know. Do you have children?
Yeah, me and my wife, we have 4.
Yeah, so he has 4 children. So I don't want to hear any excuses from single people who say, "Oh, but this is going to cost money." Yes, things take investments. Flowers have to grow, but they start as seeds. And so when you're going through, the process of dealing with China, do you have somebody in China already that you trust, that you dealt with? Like, a lot of people have an issue with doing business with people they can't touch. How did you, build that relationship and build that trust up?
Yeah, definitely. We have our manufacturer over there. We built our relationship via email. We haven't met face to face yet. Eventually we will, but it was faith, man, because it's challenging. It's a lot of money, and you just like, man, I hope I get my money's worth, or I hope they don't run off with my money. But because me and my wife, man, we just believe that the right connections we made, again, referencing back to we have a relationship with Prototype House. So because they've had a long-standing relationship with the manufacturers that they sourced out our product to, based on their relationship with China, we felt confident enough to build a relationship with China. So now, me and my wife, we contact our manufacturer whenever we're ready to put in place a new order, or if we want to modify anything, we're able to communicate with them. And it's all been through email. There hasn't been a day we've picked up the phone and spoke with them. But it goes back to who connects you with them. If you don't find them directly yourself, which kind of is hard, because typically manufacturers don't really deal with individuals unless they're being connected through a sourcing company,
Yeah. Now, with dealing with China, I sometimes get these things, these hater alert, and I can hear someone say, "You want me to get my baby to China? I gotta go ask China." Did you worry about China, knocking you off, because they are known to, take things and make their own versions of it, and then you see somebody in a Chinese video getting the waves or whatnot? Was that ever a concern for you?
It crossed my mind, but I didn't allow it to concern me, because I don't know, man. Maybe this is just me, but I don't know too many Chinese brothers with waves. You know what I'm saying? So that's an advantage I have there with that piece, and what it costs to make. I don't know if because they're looking at it. I have to explain to them what the use is for, and because it's not something common, they don't fit the demographic in the wave space. I didn't dwell too heavy on it, and I don't know, that was just my viewpoints on that. So, and so far I've been good. I haven't seen it nowhere else, and I don't think it's just gonna pop. It would have to be like a big company that really want to compete, that takes my idea or overseas and try to push it, there.
Mm. Now, I know some of the real wave heads, and those are like, okay, I want to see how this works. Do you know, they're going to say, do I have to put Sporting Wave? Like, will Sporting Wave putting it in my hair, will that help? Will it hurt? Will my brush then be, ruined? I mean, give us the technique on that with the Sporting Wave or old school Murrays, and should they put that in their hair with it?
Yeah, so basically when you see the Murrays and the Sporting Waves, that product is like mainly, consists of like wax or petroleum and stuff like that. So with the Wave Glider, you can use those to apply because it has multiple purpose. The multiple purpose is you can use the Wave Glider. It has like a solution container where it acts like a stamping mechanism where you dip the Wave Glider in there and use it to apply starting from your crown and out all the way through your hair. But where the Wave Glider comes in also, another way you can use it is after you brush, instead of using a plastic bag with your hand, you use the Wave Glider just to give you extra lay, and any frizz or stubborn hairs that's sticking up, it'll come behind it. And in our in the wave community, they call this thing, woofing, where you grow out your hair. If you comb it out, it's like an afro. But when you brush it down, your waves are have more depth, and you're able to kind of train your natural curl pattern to lay and get as much lay as possible from it. So that's where Wave Glider comes into play. But you can use it at any height, but its main focus and use is to help lay your hair down, and the brushing pulls the hair through, from the new growth all the way to the top layer. So they can use Sporting Waves, but they would have to manually, use their finger to smear the that product onto the Wave Glider. But I really design it for like your moisturizers and your butters because it's a more liquidy product. So that way, as you get further in the wave game, you got beginner waivers and then you got elite waivers. I'm probably in between, like I'm not gonna crown myself an elite waiver yet, but I kind of phase away. The longer you in the game, you kind of phase away from like the Murrays or the Sporting Waves because it kind of coats your hair too heavy, and it's not really natural products. So most waivers like to use natural products now. Your hair could breathe, and your pores are not clogged up. So yeah.
Okay, and with that, I mean, people will say, well, and this is probably nobody in the wave community, but I'm thinking like Shark Tank wise, have you done any independent research to show how much more your waves are thicker, bigger, all that? Have you done any independent research to say, look, this helps your hair give this look 2 times more or 10 times more? Anything like that yet?
Not yet. I don't have the statistic, numbers. What I can say is that the key is achieving as much lay as possible to get more defined and deeper waves. So I can come at that angle, and that's a good idea. Going forward, I'm definitely gonna try to get a statistic number or do like a little study on the results that you get from laying your hair down more, the difference in the appearance of your waves and if it enhance it. But I know that the Wave Glider, I've been using it personally myself, and I have gotten, better results from laying my hair down more, and I can wear my hair much higher. I mean, when we first came on, the first thing you noticed was my hair. And you like, yo, and I'm telling you, Kellen, that bro, it took me a minute to figure out how to lay my hair down, because a lot of waivers don't like to hear this, but waves are curls laid down.
Yeah,
That's pretty much
yeah.
it is, man. You can train your curls to lay, your curl pattern to lay. You got waves, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, you say it. I always, as a kid, I struggle, but I always, from sports to put on a baseball hat to put
Oh,
on a helmet for,
yeah.
a decade. And, you know, the last thing I'm trying to worry about when you put that helmet on is, man, my wave. So that's why it's so much easier to have these glove locks in my hair.
Yeah.
Um, Now you're pushing, you're selling on your website, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
Is this product gonna be available on Amazon, and why or why not?
Yeah, actually, my wife and I, we're setting up on Amazon this week. We're just waiting for them to get back to us. Uh, no particular reason why we didn't go, why we haven't been on there already, but going forward, especially working with our team now, it's beneficial to get more exposure. Amazon has a big platform. Why not? You know, um, and then uh, to be honest, keep it 100. You get in like your new business, and you just like, man, I want to cap on every dollar. But I've heard a guru say this, like it's worse to have 100% of nothing, and instead of, and I'm paraphrasing, instead of giving a little percent somewhere and then gaining much more. You know what I'm saying? So we had to change the way we was thinking and our approach. And so with that being said, we will be available on Amazon.
Okay, awesome. And I love that as a consultant. I love it when I hear entrepreneurs say, "Oh, but Amazon takes too much money." I said, "You know what? You don't understand business, because next you'll say a consultant or a publicist or
Mhm.
whoever, you gotta build a team to make that dream happen. Nobody can do it by themselves. And if
Exactly.
you're stingy, yeah, you think Amazon taking a dollar or two, whatever it
Yeah.
is too much, but your vision isn't there, and we have to, as a consultant, break you down to build you up. So
Yeah.
no, that's good to hear, because I mean they're selling stuff all over and people can review. Now, what about Shark Tank? Have you considered? And we know, and I'm going to be the first one to say it. Shark Tank with black products, it's third. Can't say 50-50. I can't even say 30, because the only shark that would get this, and we've seen other products like this go on Shark Tank that deal with black men particularly,
Yeah.
and David doesn't have hair,
Yeah.
but he gets it. But the rest of the sharks, you really would have to like kill them with personality and numbers. But have you considered a Shark Tank run?
Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, bro, I was kind of intimidated because, you watch Shark Tank and it just seemed like everybody got the right answers, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, being early in the game, we didn't have numbers yet, so now going forward, man, definitely interested in jumping on the show if we can make it on.
Yeah. And start now. I mean, with the way Shark Tank has changed their rules, sometimes it takes people years. It depends if they're in your city. It just depends. But I think this is such a great product. My next conversation with how far have you been able to expand it? Has Haiti been able to see this? Has Africa been able to see this with the orders? How far has it gone?
And surprisingly, I was shocked that some we had orders from Ireland, Ghana. I'm like, yo, there's black people in Ireland. Um, it's been it's been shipped out to the UK. We get a lot of love from France. Of course here in the US. But yeah, it's got a lot of exposure, more than we thought. And we had lost, like I said, we lost a little momentum last year because we were still in the red, man. But now we're in a good place, and we was able to bring on some help. And it's definitely got some exposure, and there's some places that still haven't seen it yet, but I know for a fact it's in Ireland.
Okay.
Actually, no, I don't know, bro.
Okay, it's in Ireland, and yeah, traveling the way I like to do it, we're everywhere. I wouldn't be shocked if India started jumping on this,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and that's the beauty of just travel, and many entrepreneurs and even ex-military folks are leaving America because prices are so high,
yeah,
and $3,000 in any African country, you're wealthy. $3,000 in Cambodia, you're wealthy. Thailand, you're wealthy. So it's a beautiful thing. What's the for you the next thing? Do you have another product that you say, what, you thought that was something? Here, watch this.
man, you must be a prophet or something, dude. Uh,
Amen.
I I'm actually I'm actually um uh getting sourcing right now for another product. Our company is big on innovation. Like we take something, you know how innovation is, you just make it better. And so I'm working on a wave cap. You have there's a ton of wave caps on the market, but this one, the way I had it designed, um, it's pretty unique, man. I'm not gonna give a spoiler alert, but that's gonna be my next product. I didn't want to be like everybody else and just have a one size fit all, just cookie cutters, slap my logo on there. If I'm gonna bring something out, it has to be innovative and it has to make the consumer's job easier. And especially in the space that I'm in, there's a problem with the wave caps. You got to wear two of them to get a good lay. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Especially if that thing is not trademarked. Yeah, don't give us all the game yet, because
Mm,
yeah, we want to make sure your stuff is patented and everything,
yeah, man.
because even if they try to rip you, they got to tip you.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, that's beauty with the success that you're having and that you're gonna have in the future. What is your community give back that you are doing or that you want to do?
Definitely, I want to. Haven't been in position to start yet, but I want to um educate, especially, and it's not just single or just the Black community, but youth, man. Like you could get them younger, they can, avoid pitfalls early, man. I just want to show them what God gave me, man. Just entrepreneurship is powerful, but it's not for everybody. But it's definitely the way to go, man. Like I'm able to sit here on this interview with you. I'm not clocked in anywhere. I am a barber. I'm self-employed right now, and I'm building my company. But I want to give back. I want to educate especially young brothers, on the importance of entrepreneurship and being an inventor. The mind is powerful, and our imagination is powerful, and if you can harness it, you could birth a lot of, you could solve a lot of problems. If you could find a problem and solve it, you'll be able to not only change your family's life, but you'll be able to change the world. So that's how I want to give back. And then of course, monetarily wise too, put money into, impoverished neighborhoods. And I mean, the sky's the limit. There's so much, but I know I definitely want to start there, man. Just educating young brothers.
Okay. And I'm not done yet, because when you talk about startups and even a business like this, I love I love this entrepreneur stuff. The freedom to be able to remember when you were a kid and they would say, hey, go to bed. And
Yeah,
at some point you didn't have to go to bed and you could just,
yeah,
manage yourself. That's what this is. And, my kids sometimes have a bedtime, but it depends on what they're doing and how loud they're being and how close I want to get to, mom and just, get my hug and my kisses on.
yeah,
But because you got to have that time too as an entrepreneur, especially when you're working with your spouse. But, what have you done in the realm of like startup week? Because that's a big thing. I know Palm Beach has a startup week. Have you been able to participate in one of those yet?
Not yet. I definitely want to get more information on that. But I haven't been a part of one yet.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to give you the game on that and send it to you because cool. I just, that to me, like here in Seattle, we've been able to have success in businesses. And then, my wife won a pitch competition one time and then had all these venture capitalists come and offer money. And I had to tell her, I said, baby, you got a real job. You can't take that amount of money. We can't take that amount of money because, your job in the hospital requires you to be there so much and you're still in training. And, she was upset for a little bit, a couple months, but then she got it when her real entrepreneurial brain, because when these people give you money, they want you to be there. Just like on Shark Tank, they say, are you willing to quit your job, no matter what that job is? But I'm definitely going to send you the link for Startup Week, and I would tell you, just sign up. Everything is just, it's just love being around that other energy of entrepreneurs. And then if you are able to pitch and are able to get some money, now it's like, okay, I'm here. Because to me, honestly, being in Seattle is the reason why businesses come here. Money isn't your problem in Seattle. Wow. It's not all sweet, but money isn't going to be your problem. And so you have that email now because I like to do things in real time. So, after this interview, you'll see it. Okay. But it's just a beautiful thing. So, do not run away from those pitch competitions. Know how much of your company you're willing to give up. Yeah. If any. I like angel investors more than I like venture capitalists, but I want to be able to, own this. But if your problems are money, they won't be for long. I already see it. You seem humble. You seem like you keep creating. So, you about to have some money. We're going to take that boat out. We're going to take that boat out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, everybody, you are going to have the website. The links will be in the description box and all that stuff. But I want to give you, if you have any last words, please share them. I don't want to give the people a game overload, and I want them to do some purchasing.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Yep, I got some Wave Gliders in stock. We got the silver ones, which is the original color, and the blackout ones on our website, www.waveglider.com. And also follow me on Wave Glyder on my IG. It's my panhandle is wave_glider. Glider spelt with a Y, not an I. And we have some shirts as well, some Wave Glyder merch. And dropping soon will be, our own hair products. And also the caps will be coming soon too. Man, I had a great time today, man, on this interview, man. I thought I was going to be real nervous, but man, speaking to you, I just felt like some old buddies that just picked up where we left off at, man.
No, definitely. We're going to talk after this. You guys, you won't hear that conversation. It's a grown man business.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and just stay tuned. This is Real Game. Be blessed, y'all.